Randy, I want you to know what a vile human being you are. You're one of the lowest life forms there is. I have lived all over the United States and parts of the world and never lived in a neighborhood, in a city, in a county as bad as this. And you are a perfect example of how disgusting a person can be in this area. My life went up when I wasn't here. 2 degrees, a pre-med degree, a 4-year term for the governor, board of registrar's chairwoman. There was hardly no crime in the city that I lived in North Alabama. No trash on the side of the road, nothing. Nobody acted like you. Nobody acted like the other people on this street. Just hateful, mean. Try to drag somebody down to your level. I got away from here and people encouraged me to do better in life. You and your wife have been the worst source of discouragement that anybody could ever encounter. You're hateful. You're mean. Said something about I should sell the house before, Mama ever died. Like it was any of your business. But what is wrong with you? Why do you feel like you're so much better than other people? And all your kids and grandkids act the same way. And Robbie's over here wiping your butt last night. You start all this crap, and then you got to have somebody to wipe your butt because you done crapped in your pants. You crapped in your pants. Clean your own backside up. Why do you start crap and then you got to have your kids and grandkids over here to take up for you? You little pansy. You little coward. Pick on an old woman and then get your whole bandwagon of your whole family involved in coming down on me. You're a pig. You're a nasty, filthy pig. You're not the nice guy you try to pretend to be. I will never forget you telling me when you were trying to convince me how you were better than Christians, and somebody in your business tore my car up, and I could have been hurt, and my daughter could have been hurt. Seriously hurt. Went over to pick my son up from a youth event from Gadsden Church. And the wheel nearly fell off my car because of you. Some guy that works there didn't pack the bearings. You probably told him not to. You probably set it up so my wheel would nearly fall off, and you could somehow save the day. So you're giving me a ride because my car's not working because of you. And you say the couches, they're just filthy people. They're just nasty, filthy people. Really? I didn't say anything to you that day. My grandmother was a couch and she was anything but dirty. Her house was a lot cleaner than mine. And mine wouldn't be this way if I'd have had help. When I moved in here, there was no one to help me. No one. And then I had to put up with you and Gilman. And the other psychos on this street. The other dope addicts on this street. Devils from hell. hell bent on trying to pull other people down. My grandmother was a couch, and she was a fine woman who went to church and didn't cuss or drink or smoke or anything, and was very clean. You're a pig. You're a nasty pig. I've met some Davises that are dogs. You're one of them. Dirty dogs. You're a filthy dog. You might have your house clean and your car's clean, but your heart is black as soot. And what about Couch's Jewelers? Oh, well, those couches. And then there's an attorney downtown that's a couch. Who are you to even say something so despicable? And then you won't even claim Robbie. Robbie's over here wiping your butt and taking up for you, and you wouldn't even claim her as a daughter to me. When I said something about Robbie and your daughter Robbie and then oh, she's not my daughter. Although you've been with Brenda ever since she got pregnant out of wedlock with Robbie. If you're not her father, who is? You should have never said something like that to me, because all it made me do is just disrespect you because you're a pig. You're a nasty pig. I didn't think about those things. When you were saying them then, I didn't think about it. But once I got my security cameras and I saw you weaving and bobbing underneath the carport to watch me, because you're a psycho, hiding behind stuff to watch me, caught you hiding around in the dark to watch me when I got home because you're a psycho and your wife is a psychotic, sociopathic, narcissistic weirdo too. Let you go outside doing that kind of crazy stuff. But she can't do nothing about it, can she? Once I got security cameras and saw you hiding to watch me and showing just what kind of a psychopath you are. Boy, man, did I ever feel duped by thinking you were some kind of nice person even though you're a drunk. Yeah, well, maybe he is as good a Christian, good as other Christians, maybe he's nicer than Christians and so fooled by you, and you're a fake. You're a mirage. I mean, you pretend to be something you're not, and you got your whole family fooled. But you don't have me fooled. You got me to put stop leak in my Dodge, and it blew up on the way home from Birmingham. Then you want to say, well, I wouldn't have took this car over to Birmingham. Well, I went over there to make some money. Oh. You caused my car to blow a hole in it because you got me to put stop leak in it and you knew it would tear it up. David Murphy said, my buddy says never to put stop leak in a car. Really? Who's your buddy? Randy Davis. It'll tear one up. But you lied to me and got me to do it. Because you're a sorry sack of garbage. I could have been killed out there from 10:30 at night till 2 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to get home. Had to go a mile, pull over. 17 degrees outside. Go a mile, pull over. Go a mile, pull over. Go a mile, pull over. All the way from Pell City. Because of you. Because you're a despicable piece of garbage. You put my life in danger because you are a despicable piece of garbage. You have no conscience. And then you lied and said, the manufacturer says if you don't stop leaking those cars, it'll tear them up. You lied again. But it was David Murphy, who is now dead. So you can't call him up and bless him out because he told me. That's what you did. Because you're stalking me and saw the video I made before about it. You call him over there and tell him off about it. It wasn't his fault. It was yours. Because you're a liar and a cheat and a pervert and a stalking weirdo. You got a black heart. And David Murphy, God used him to tell me the truth about you. That you had lied to me. You're not as good as Christians. You're not better morally than Christians just because you do nice things for people because you have a motive. You've got a very wicked, evil heart. And you did those things to me, and you harassed me, and you snuck around at night, hiding in the dark to watch me when I got home, on your front porch, standing there in a black robe, hooded robe, acting like a weirdo. Stalking me. Getting other men to follow me around. Don't sit and tell your family that I'm crazy. Don't. Your wife, Brenda, doesn't need to say, she's crazy. She's crazy. No, you're crazy. Because you did these things to me. You are crazy. And your wife is crazy because she stands by delusional and in denial as if none of it happened. As if Gilman did not make meth and kill and poison kids on this street. Kill them. They are alive walking around but dead. Because their brain is burnt because of you and your wife. Looking the other way. When you could have done something. You could have said something, but you didn't. Because you're a coward. And your wife is a delusional person in denial. The truth is you're a drunk and your drunkenness has caused a lot of problems. That's the truth. But you're in denial and want to act like everybody else is the problem but you. Everybody's crazy but you. Everybody's crazy but you, Brenda. No, you two are crazy. The fact that you would try to do what you have done to me, you are crazy. You are a psychopath. You listen inside my house. You listen to my phone calls. I tell Mark Tyner at the commission office that I'm going to build a rock retaining wall out there. And what do? The next week or so, you go and borrow $10,000 to build a retaining wall. Because you have this insecure need to outdo everybody. Because you're so insecure, you've got to have attention like that. Because you're so jealous, you're so insecure, you're so competitive. Oh man, I gotta do this before she does because I gotta make her look stupid. What kind of evil, wicked person does that? You're a monster. You and Gilman McKinney did so many evil, wicked things. And you were in on it, if not the mastermind behind the whole thing. Standing over there laughing at what Gilman McKinney did to me. You're a monster straight out of hell. I've lived all over the United States and parts of the world, and never lived next to any worse, any bad people except you. Never have I lived next door to anybody bad. There was something that happened just before I moved there. Somebody walked through my yard and was at my windows. That was the beginning of me being distrusting of people. Because I never had nothing like that happen before either. That was just before I moved here. But I never had no other problems in that town. There was no crime. Just no problems. There was a couple of people that harassed me, but nothing like here. There was a Wiccan that harassed me. A Wiccan. And somebody walked through my yard to my back door to look in. But that was just before I came here. But nowhere else, ever, in my entire life, have I had any problems anywhere I've lived. Like I did here. It has been a complete nightmare because of you. You are a wicked, evil person. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, but the sad thing is you're not. That's the sad thing. You don't have a conscience. Just like Chuck Hunter doesn't. And Chuck Hunter is more of a reprobate even than you. You're just a little sneaky one. Two-faced, sneaky person. Liar, cheat. I pray that your wickedness comes up as a stench in the nostrils of God. May yours and Chucky Hunter's and his family and your family, your wickedness come up as a stench in the nostrils of God. That you would harass an old, elderly, disabled widow woman. Don't think that God doesn't notice. Take notice. He knows what you have done. He knows the conversations that you're having when I'm not around. He knows the things that you are saying and your wife is saying. He knows. I don't. But you are influencing your kids and your grandkids to harass me. And that's the influence that you have on people. That's the effect that you have on people. You and your wicked wife. Alcohol. When you look at the ABC stores, some of them around Alabama, it says select spirits. You have selected your spirits, and you have wicked spirits that are inside of you because of the alcohol. Don't think that you don't. You do. And when you get drunk, it's even worse. You're an angry, bitter old man. You've got hate in your eyes. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for what you have done. You ought to be ashamed. You're eavesdropping on my conversations. You know before I walk out the door. And apparently some of your family does too. Especially Brenda. She must have something. She knows when I'm walking out the door too. She's taking part in your wickedness. Because she'll send those kids running out the door to run to their car and slam the car door when I'm locking my door, which means y'all know before I walk out my door. Do you understand? You have committed a felony. You've eavesdropped inside my house. You deserve to be in prison. You are worse than a felon. The only thing is you haven't got caught at what you've done. You're sneaky. You're a snake in the grass. But your wife knows too somehow when I'm walking out the door and she was the one running out the door doing her stupid stuff. Now it's her grandkids and her kids she's putting up to it. You're going to take a receipt too, Brenda. Judgment's on the way.